But the vehicle of people who dwell in prayer, as it were, can come out with something supernatural that can compel and bear these men, that can bear them to fear God. By manifestations and the demonstration of power that you will command and compel, they had no choice than to believe that indeed there is God. Am I making sense here? They had no choice than to believe that there is what? He said there is a city, a judge in the city who fear no man. But men who pray, who carry capacity, who have this ability in them, they have the audacity. There is something, there is an authority in them that can actually bend men to their feet. Not just bending men to their feet, that can actually change the heart of men, that can actually bend the heart of every man. So even if you meet the most hardened set of people, men of prayer breaks their heart. Men of prayer get access into their treasury. So what they don't amend for others, Esther said, there is a law in this town. Nobody see the king except the king sent for the person. He said, but go tell Mordecai. He said, tell him to gather the Jews. He said, let them fast and pray for me. I will go and see the king. If I perish, I perish. That is changing the king's heart. The king, Ahasuerus was a judge. Who are judges are people who dictate the destiny of men, who dictate the life of people, who dictate the next level, who dictate the progress, who can say A and A is A, who are judges. Judges are one who determine destiny in the face of the earth. They have human life in their hand, as it were. Either the power will will to them willingly, or they will will to them by appointment, and they can sentence. Like for instance, now a whole lot is happening somewhere in a certain nation of the world. Since a president came into power, a whole lot is going on. Why? That is a judge. Am I making sense here? So what he says stands, and as it were, even the most little, the smallest among all, they are feeling the weight of his judgment. But this was very clear here. Why am I saying this? That you can go far on your knees, that you can go on your foot. Hear me now. He said that men ought always to pray, and in the city there was a judge, and this judge had no fear for man. So instead of you lobbying, God was trying to teach us. Jesus was trying to say to the disciples, instead of lobbying, instead of trying to do all to please man to be in their good book, instead of trying to lobby to do everything, doing all that you can to be in the good book of men, so that you will not be judged, so that your destiny will be decided positively, Jesus was trying to say, why not choose prayer? Because he that can talk to God can talk to any man. Instead of doing everything to please the judge, to make a judge happy, why not pray? Am I talking here? Why not pray? Why not pray? That men ought always to pray and not to faint. So in the place where they are deciding destinies, men who pray have already decided their destiny. In the place where men are ruling in the affairs of men, men who pray have already ruled in their favor. They've ruled their own before they came. So when they come, you have no choice, because when they walk in, there's a terror that comes with them. When they walk in, there is an ability that follows them. When they walk in, there is a supernatural cloud, a great cloud of weakness that come with them. So you look at them, you can't withhold nothing from them. You have no choice. He said, as they move from nation to nation, from kingdom to kingdom, he suffered no man to do the wrong. He reproved king for their sake. Psalm 105 from verse 3. He reproved king for their sake, saying, touch not my anointed. So even kings were banned. The judges of those nations were banned. Why? Because these were nations who have embraced prayer. These were nations who have been soaked in prayer. These are nations who their reality was better in prayer. Am I talking here? So those who choose prayer, they don't need to lobby. They don't need to lobby. So even if the judge is deciding the destinies of others, when they come, they judge the judge, because he that can talk with God can talk with any man. He that can what? And he that has spoken to God has spoken to all men. Take note of that. He that has spoken to God has spoken to everybody. Because the heart of a king is what? It's in the hands of the Lord. It's raining. And even in Benin, they used to come to Aunchi for weekend. And they told him to bring 20 million. They've not kidnapped them yet too. They're just telling him that they know where they go to school. So that they map out that they should bring. I'm trying to say that where men are busy begging judge to rule in their favor, men who have prayed, they don't beg. They come and give order. They negotiate. They dialogue. And this is what I want. And the king adjusts the scepter according. Because why? There is a supreme authority that rules. So while the man was talking and said, bring 20 million, Papa said, Emmanuel. Emmanuel. He said, hello? Emmanuel. He said, wrong number. Papa called the name of the kidnapper, his name. Because in the days of his power, the people, he said, Emmanuel. The guy weak. He said, this one, you know my name. So just imagine they're calling your name. Obviously, they can actually find your address. Your mother, where your mother, your father, where they are living. Praise God. There is so much in God, but can only be found and revealed to men of prayer. Praise God. Praise God. A people that have accepted prayer are people who God heart always pant after. So instead of lobbying to begging, men ought always to pray. There is an energy that can come that is from within. This energy, like I said, and I believe many of you have been able to know this, because by strength and normal prevail, that was physical strength. But as you begin to pray, there's what they call spiritual nourishment. There's what is called spiritual abilities. And these are natural characters. These are supernatural characters rather, that become natural in the life of a natural man. Because the natural man are choosing the strategies of the spirit world. So this ability begin to resident. It begin to domicile in you literally. And so when you speak, you command. When you give order, there is authority. Am I speaking here? So when you pray, there is strength. Men ought always to pray and not to faint. Men ought always to pray and not to faint. And I told us a few weeks ago that the word is said, the earth is hard. Have you discovered now that every day, the more you wake up, the more it does on you that the health system is becoming more difficult? Have you discovered that? It's becoming more tense every day. It's becoming more, am I making sense here? He said, but let the righteous. He said, when they say others are saying, they say cast down. He said, yes, shall say there is a lifting. Because there are people who will look at themselves. Because in 10 years ago, to build house was very easy. To get visa, to travel, to do things was easy. But every day, the more you wake up, the more the system of the world is becoming hard. It's becoming tougher. So you must understand that to survive in this end time, you need that internal ability. You need that energy. You need that strength. Am I talking to somebody here? And it can only be found in the place of prayer. You can only acquire that capacity in where? In the place of prayer. And listen, when you find this thing, people know. When you carry it, they know. But the kind of honor you command, but the kind of side and description that you have been given to, you already know that you have touched something. Men who have touched these things in the spirit is obvious. Even the mortal man bow to them. The mortal man has no choice than to do their bidding. Why? Because they found something that you have not found. And that thing is strength. Here's what? And why do you have to honor them? Because there are things they can do that you can't do. There are things they are doing that you are not doing. Why? But they are doing it and daring it because there is an ability in them. There is an ability, so there's a spirit in man that bringeth what? All understanding. It's a spirit. I can do all things. Through what? Through what? Lift your hand, say that. I can do all things. Say it prophetically, say I can do all things. Say prophetic, say I can do all things. Now, when Paul said I can do all things, did he say through the money I have in my bank? Did he say through the contact I have? Through Christ that what? That strengthen. He has to mention strength again. That strengtheneth me. And listen to me. If strength does not come in these end times, with the kind of mountains and battles, with the kind of circumstances, every one of you look at me now, with the kinds of shakings, the kind of wickedness that we face every day. Brothers are killing brothers, sisters are killing sisters, nations are rising against each other, all kinds of onslaught. Am I talking to somebody? Even people with Bible, they are wickeding themselves, they are deceiving each other. Still or still, even in the midst of light, darkness is still being practiced. Am I talking to somebody here with the kind of pressure, the burdens? And I said to us that if you lack strength, the world will beat you hands down, because the way the world system is organized to make sure that the children of light fail. It's organized to make sure that those who are choosing not to be part of evil, he has made sure they don't succeed. Am I talking here? If you go to the higher institution, is there. You go to any sector, you find it there. They have priority list, and the list of people that gain their favor are people who are choosing their ways, people who do their evil. When you decide to stand out and not to do what they do, it's already another fight. Am I talking to somebody here? And to all the men seated here, in case you are not aware, those of you young men, look at me. Whether you are in the media, stand, hear me. If you are born as a man, if you were born into this world as a man, just know that the world is already winning you 1-0. They are already winning you 1-0. And if you are not born into a poor home, you are already losing 2-0. And if you are not born into Nigeria, you are losing 3-0. So you must make up your mind, because you struggle and suffer. You have to work hard. You need to gather momentum. Am I talking here? Because there is so much that will be on your shoulder. There is so many questions you will answer. Am I talking here? But peradventure you are born as a woman, there is no problem in 0-0. Am I talking here? But for you as a man, wake up. There is a man ought always to what? To pray and not to faint. Many things will challenge you. Many things will what? Will challenge you. The world system was not organized for you to succeed. The world system was not organized. Listen to me. The pressure will come. There are certain mountains you will confront. There are many of us who looked at our life last year and you said to yourself, when will this thing be over? When will this experience end? When will this mountain experience disappear? Because the more you strive, the more the armies of error is coming. The more Pharaoh and his people are coming. The more you push, just like Moses, after he spoke with audacity, he said to Israel, follow me. The Lord that brought me to bring you out. And they followed. After a while, suddenly they turned back. They saw the armies of Pharaoh, and Pharaoh himself pursuing after them. And he looked forward. He saw the Red Sea. There are many of us who are going to encounter such a battle. It's not a prophecy of doom. It's a reality of life, especially when you carry greatness, especially when there is a destiny that you need to fulfill. Battles are going to come, shakings will come, trials will come. Moses turned back. He saw Pharaoh coming. He turned to the front. He saw the Red Sea. At that moment, child of God, your physical abilities will fail, your weapon will fail, all that that you know with faith. But at that moment, Moses got to the Red Sea, and the Lord whispered to him. That is the energy. I'm not talking here. Imagine if he hasn't built that capacity before he confronted Pharaoh. He has built a capacity. He has already inaugurated. A channel was already endorsed. A channel was already established that takes him from the natural into the supernatural. And that was the assurance of Moses. He said to God, if your presence does not go with me, I am not going to see Pharaoh. I'm not talking here. So he got the sea of O. There was a proof of ownership in that journey. So that was within. That assurance was not visible. It did not show in his color of dress. It did not show in his voice. But it was hidden in his audacity. It was hidden in his command. You can only feel it when Moses opened his mouth. You can only see it when he decided to speak. There are many of us who are out there. There are many mountains that you have confronted. All the mountain was waiting to see is the capacity of your voice, the authority that you carry. But because a channel of communication through prayer with God has not been established, you will unable to speak to the mountain. But there are men who can say to the mountain, be thou moved, the mountain will move. Nobody say to yourself, say from today, say from today, say from to choosing the words of prayer. Say I am choosing to pray. Say I am choosing to pray. Am I blessing somebody? I'm choosing to pray.